Man finally finds the mother who abandoned him as a baby, but she refuses to meet him. He spent his whole life chasing a shadow, the face of a woman he never met, with nothing but a faded photo and a name she never even signed on his birth certificate. Marcus searched for decades, and finally, he found her, but when she opened the door, she didn't cry. She didn't smile, she didn't even speak. She looked him dead in the eye and said, "You've got the wrong woman." But Marcus knew, and what he discovered after that shattered everything he thought he knew about love, why she really left him behind. Before we dive in, please support us by subscribe, like and share for more with activating the notification bell. Thank you. From the moment Marcus turned 5, he knew something was missing. While other kids brought handmade cards for their moms on Mother's Day, Marcus sat quietly, watching, pretending he didn't care. He was raised in a foster home, decent people, but never his people. Every birthday there was a wish. Not for toys or cake, but for her, his birth mother. He only had one photo, blurry, worn, torn from a hospital file the foster agency accidentally gave him when he was 15. She had long black hair and tired eyes. No name. By his late 20s, Marcus had turned that desperation into obsession. He studied faces, looked through public records. He sent DNA tests to ancestry websites, hoping for a match. Every week was another dead end until one day, a stranger in Louisiana came up as a 99.9% match. A woman in her 50s, named Cynthia Rayborn. He froze. That was her. After all these years he had a name, an address, and 1,000 questions buried beneath decades of silence. Marcus drove 12 hours straight, rehearsing every word. He imagined the moment over and over. She'd cry, she'd collapse into his arms, maybe beg for forgiveness. The pain he'd carried so long would finally melt. But when the door opened, Cynthia didn't react like the woman in his dreams. She looked at him, expression cold. "Yes," she asked. "Are you Cynthia Rayborn?" he asked, voice trembling. "Yes." She narrowed her eyes. "I think I'm your son," he whispered, holding out the photos. She glanced at it and froze. "I'm sorry. You have the wrong person," she said, quickly, and tried to close the door. He stopped it with his hand. "No, please, I've been searching for 28 years. You're the only match. I don't have a son," she said flatly. "Leave now." The door slammed shut. Marcus stood there, heartbeat thundering, hands still holding the photo. She'd looked right at it. She recognized it. So why was she pretending he didn't exist? He didn't leave. He checked into a motel 2 blocks away. And that's when the real story began to unfold, because he wasn't the only one keeping secrets. The next morning, Marcus sat across the street, watching her house. Then someone sat beside him on the park bench, a woman in her 60s. Friendly smile. "You visiting Cynthia?" she asked casually, but Marcus hesitated. "She says she doesn't know me." The woman laughed sadly. "She always says that. Poor thing's been running from the past since she was a teenager." Marcus looked at her. "You know her story?" "Honey," she sighed, eyes softening. "Cynthia was just a girl when it happened. 16. Came home pregnant. Her daddy, pastor of the local church, lost his mind. Forced her to give the baby up. Sent her away for months. When she came back, it was like the baby never existed." Marcus couldn't believe it. "Do you know what happened to the baby?" She looked at him again, long, deep, then smiled gently. "I think I do." Later that night, she returned with a shoebox. Inside were torn letters, a bracelet, a hospital photo, his photo, as a newborn, and on the back, in faint handwriting, "Marcus, my son, I hope you find me someday." She'd written it. She had known. But now she was pretending none of it was real. Marcus held the box in his lap, heart in pieces. What would make a mother deny her own child after leaving this behind? He returned the next day, not to knock, but to leave the box on her porch. He added a note. "You named me Marcus. I still want to know why." Hours passed. No reply. Then, at midnight, a letter slid under his motel door. It wasn't handwritten. It was typed, "Dear Marcus, I've waited for this moment for decades, and yet I feared it more than death. I named you Marcus. I kissed your forehead once before they took you. I screamed for days, but no one listened. Not the system, not my family. And when I came home, they forced me to pretend you never happened. You have every right to hate me. I do not deserve your forgiveness. I don't even deserve to see the man you've become. That's why I lied, not because I don't know you, but because I don't deserve to. You were the only thing I ever loved unconditionally, and the only thing I was forced to give up. I will watch from afar, if that's all I'm allowed, but I will love you forever, even from the shadows." Cynthia. Marcus read the letter again and again. The pain in her words mirrored the pain in his soul. He wanted to run to her, to scream, to hold her, but he didn't. Not yet. He needed to understand the truth from her lips, not from paper. The next morning, Cynthia was waiting on the same park bench. She didn't speak for a long time. I was terrified. She finally said, voice shaking, "You looked just like your father. I thought I was seeing a ghost." Marcus sat quietly beside her. "They told me you'd be adopted by a wealthy couple. They said it was better. I wasn't even allowed to hold you twice," Marcus whispered. "I waited my whole life just to hear your voice. I waited my whole life to be brave enough to face mine," she said, wiping her eyes. "I wasn't brave when you needed me. I thought I could pretend you didn't exist, but you were always there in every song, every sunset, every nightmare." He took her hand. She let him for the first time. They sat mother and son in silence, with decades of pain slowly unraveling between their fingers. The road ahead wouldn't be easy, but it had begun. And for the first time in his life, Marcus felt something he'd never felt before.